Shabbat Shalom. Trayson, is my mic on? Am I loud enough? Trayson? Trayson?
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Trayson? Am I loud enough? No, not loud enough. No, that's what I thought. I'm awfully quiet. Okay, I'm just going to say Shabbat Shalom, and Happy Hanukkah. Yes, and now it sounds like I'm really loud, and this is how it has to be, even though Dan is not here. Because the people who watch on YouTube, and I think today there are quite a lot of them because of the temperatures, they need this. I switched it on. I got you guys. So, Shabbat Shalom. It's cold and it's also toasty, and it's something in between where it's like sitting at a campfire where the front is burning hot and your back is freezing. So we're gathering around a lot of candles tonight. I want to say we're still mask friendly. So if you want to wear a mask, do it at any moment. And if you don't want to, then that's fine too. And as you see, our heat is kind of giving in to the cold streaming into the place, but hoping I, just lit some candles. So we're going to be good. I would love to honor someone very spontaneously with lighting the Shabbat candles for us. If you don't want to do it, I'll do it in your name. Should I do it in your name? We did. I have no sleep. So I don't remember anything that happened in the last year and a half of my life. But so I will actually do this now. And you don't need to look at her because she doesn't like this. But Susie Becker here, who is with us after a long break when she's far away in New York land, is the person who organizes all our fork and spoon activities and a lot of other things. She was the one who pushed us into doing the crop walk, and then Suzanne literally dragged us there. But, but Susie is the person that helps us live up to our highest ideals, and she's doing most of this work remotely. So I'm just going to light the candles. The streets are cold. HRDC has its hand full these days. Driving around, literally picking up people from the streets. So we're sitting in between the cold and the heat, the light and the darkness, remembering that we have access to a lot of resources, light and oil and latkes these days. And let's remember that that's just not true for everyone. We are on page 120. The lighting of the Shabbat candles. And if you want to join me right afterwards, it's the reading on page 121. And this is in honor of the work that Susie Becker is doing. And all the people who volunteered, right, because, yes.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
And please open your prayer books. Yes, thank you. That would have been the last thing that needed to happen. Page 121, the reading in the middle of the page. Starting with, as these Shabbat candles As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Mao Zur 669. Or if you know it by heart, it's just what it is.
Ma'otzur Yeshuati Lechana Elishabeach Tikon Beit Tefilati B'Sham Toda Nezabeach Li'etachin matbeach Mitzoram nabeach Azegmor b'shir mizmor Chanukat HaMizbeach Azegmor b'shir mizmor Chanukat HaMizbeach.
And just under it on the same page, not by might.
Not by might and not by power, but by Spirit alone shall we all live in peace. Not by might and not by power, but by Spirit alone shall we all live in peace. The children sing, the children dream, and their tears may fall, but we'll hear them call, and another song will rise, another song will rise, another song will rise. Not by might and not by power, but by Spirit alone shall we all live in peace. Not by might and not by power, but by Spirit alone shall we all live in peace. The children sing, the children dream, and the tears may fall, but we'll hear them call, and another song will rise, another song will rise, another song will rise. Not by might, not by power. Shalom.
So, this is a Hanukkah sermon. Maybe I'm actually going to stand up for that one. Like every year, it's a sermon on one of the darkest days, and like every year, it might be the last sermon you hear this year. Like every year, this is a sermon that is not only going to provide you with information, but it will also guide you on a journey, because that's what I like. We have a lot of candles burn, and I just invite you to listen to me, look into the candles whenever I talk, and if you want to listen to me, wonderful. Maybe I will take you places, and if not, then you can think your own thoughts. I'm not taking this personally. If you looked already at the lights in the middle of the room, and you counted them, you realize that we did light the exactly right amount of candles. There are 2 Shabbat candles and 6 Hanukkah candles and 1 Shamash candle, even though that's debatable. What is different, however, is that the Hanukkah candles do not burn on a Hanukkah menorah, but in a 7-branch menorah instead of a 9-branch menorah. It is the menorah that stood in the temple. And this is where I will take you now, right to Jerusalem. In the heart of Jerusalem, on top of a mountain, stands a simple wooden structure. Along the temple structure, the people gather, immerse themselves into bronze and water basins. A large basin is mounted on the backs of 12 bronze ox. In its water, the stars are mirrored during the night. 2 pillars, Yachin and Boaz, side the entrance to the inner courtyard. The first temple's courtyard and inner chamber, the Kodesh Kodashim, the Holy of Holies, are covered in gold, wooden engravings, stone ornaments, and textile art. On its altar, bread, meat, oil, and incense are sacrificed by the priests. Fires are burning on its altars at the 7-branch menorah. In its inner shrine, the high priest approaches an ark that might have contained the 10 Commandments, but maybe up until the 7th century BCE, also 2 little figures, statues, one of Adonai and the other one of his wife, Asherah. We do not know for certain who built this temple. The books of our Bible tell us that it was King Solomon, that he built it from the cedars of Lebanon and with the help of a Lebanese artist, and that he paid for it with 10 cities in the north of his kingdom. We learned that it was him who placed the tablets into their ark. We do not know who worshiped there and what exactly they did or believed while worshiping. We know that this house, this home to God in the world, was made to reflect the sky and its stars. The garden where it all began, the Garden of Eden, with its rivers and the 2 trees in its center, that it was a place of immersion, transformation, music and eating, that it changed over time, that it was sacked, plundered, and refurbished numerous times, and that it was destroyed in 587 BCE by the Babylonians. If it is your custom, please rise, page 146 for the Baruch. Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach le'olam va'ed. Please be seated. Page 148. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro mahariv aravim. Page 149 together. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of stars, creator of tide, of time and light. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. 150.
We touched by fingers that soothe us, even when we're too proud for soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us, even when we're too embittered to hear. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are supported by hands that uplift us, even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us, even when we're too weak for meeting. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amcha ahavta. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amcha ahavta. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amcha ahavta. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amcha ahavta.
Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Next page. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Next page. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. 158. And before we start singing,
I'm going to bring you to the next chapter. It's a chapter of freedom as well as of destruction. A century after the expulsion into the first exile, reconstruction began. Some had made it back from the Babylonian exile. Some had never left. Ezra the priest or Nehemiah the politician had shared their vision, or was it God's, of the place to be re-erected, a place of learning and Torah study, of gatherings and celebrations, of light and fire of the menorah, of animal bread and incense sacrifice. The priests were responsible for upkeep, music, and sacrifice. Sometimes they did a fine job, and sometimes they really didn't. When the Syrian Seleucids took over from the Egyptian Ptolemies, and eventually Seleucid rulers Antiochus Epiphanes IV demanded what was perceived by some as too much assimilation, some Jews revolted, and in the year 164 BCE, they could finally rededicate once more the building to its original purpose, which is what we remember during the 8 days of Hanukkah. This time, the fire would continue to be burning all throughout a massive remodel and expansion in the year 20 BCE under Herod, during which the hilltop was transformed into a huge platform until it was destroyed one last time in the year 70 CE by the Romans. We know some more, but actually not too much about the people worshiping. We assume that they came to Jerusalem on a regular basis to trade, sacrifice, sing, and eat, that it smelled like barbecue and burning incense, that they sang in melodies and modes we do not know anymore. We know that there were people who lived there or who came there to work for their set seasons, and that it was in the end a place of great beauty, richness, and also some corruption. When it was gone, it was painful to live without its beauty. And so they tried to bring it back numerous times, once under a man by the name of Son of the Stars, Bar Kochba, in the year 135. But then, eventually, an earthquake in the 4th century destroyed all such further hopes. Page 158. Mi chamocha, to what kind of freedom are we marching?
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha neda b'kodesh, nora tehilot sefele, nora tehilot sefele. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה. זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
In the heart of Jerusalem, on top of a platform that once was a hilltop, stands a golden shining temple next to a humble gray building. We do know some about the people worshiping there, but not everything, because they are not us and we are not them. We pray everywhere now, on each continent of this planet. We build small and large synagogues. We ordain rabbis and cantors, Sometimes, some of us go to Jerusalem where we put our hands on bright, rough stones. Some of us live there in the white light of Jerusalem, some of which go there and others not. The rabbis, heirs of this final deconstruction, teach us that location does not matter, that it is prayer, study, and good deeds that will atone for our sins. That's good to know, I believe, because we all together can accumulate quite a lot of these. However, the temple never was only a place for atonement. It was a place of mystics and music, of beauty and odors, of fire and water, of food and drink, a place that engraved itself unto our iris as well as your heart, even if you only once ever went. We do remember, we love, and we mourn the image of this structure up there on the hill. Generations later, we returned. We bulldozed down an entire Arabic quarter to unveil the structure of the Eastern Wall. We built yeshivas and tourist information center. We rebuilt synagogues in an entire Jewish quarter. We made the city into a capital. That place has once again become ours, even if its heart is not. Page 160, Hashkivenu. Please bring us to a place of rest and gratitude and protection.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Ushmot zetenu uvoenu lechaim u'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hamidenu shomreinu lechaim.
I don't know if this is the end of the story. It may be, but it also may not. The story itself up to this point gives us some answers, some of which are useful and others are not. That place in Jerusalem never truly was ours. That place in Jerusalem will always be part of our story. We too need places of beauty, mystery, and enjoyment. We too are not only a people of scholars and priests. We're mystics, warriors, kings, tradesmen, barbecue experts, musicians, event managers, mothers, priestesses, and gatekeepers. We celebrate the parts of our heritage that make us feel strong. We mourn the parts of our heritage that reveal our brokenness. We are the heirs of a story of glory and destruction, of new beginnings, of never-ending change. Whenever Jews gather, we turn towards Jerusalem. There, on the top of the mountain, in the flickering air, in the heat, this is where our stories come from. This is where the story of the Maccabees took place. 162.
Shameru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, et HaShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ברית עולם.
And if you're able, please rise with me. Page 164, the silent Amida. Today, on this Hanukkah festival, we still turn eastward. It is a commitment, a bond, too old to get rid of, a complicated, loving, sometimes aching connection between the imprint on our hearts and the image of Jerusalem we see in the news. To not give up on either, to not stop telling the stories, the latkes, the love, to keep on loving, even through yet another transformation. Maybe that is the most important message of Hanukkah. that the relationship never ends, no matter its costs.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Please pray the following pages or on your own pace, whatever is close to your heart.
Page 180.
Oh, say shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Be'imru. Imru. Amen. Yaseh shalom. Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom. Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom. Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom. Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom. Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Oh, say shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Be'imru. Mimru. Amen.
And I am just realizing, if it's okay with you, can we flip the next two things around?
Sure.
Great. Good. It is a fragile time, I'm realizing, with a lot of people sick at home. And some actually I know who are waiting for surgeries and news from doctors. So it's time to say the Mishaberach for all these. And if you want to add names of any people, please, if you can, do it out loud. And if not, then you just do it silently in your heart. And we'll be all here together. listening to your voices and the voices of your heart. Page 372, Misheberach for the sick.
Misheberach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Leimotenu
71.
May the source of strength who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
There is a generation of people who are now, I think, mostly in their 70s and 80s, who built this congregation, literally sometimes from scratch, by painting the walls and putting in beams. Some of them we see quite regularly, like Bonnie and Mike Zell, and others have disappeared a little over the years, and they come back when they want to, and some don't ever want to, and I see them for coffee. And it's this generation that has counted 2 losses only in the last weeks. One of them we all had here together, a funeral, Fred Leopold. So that is one name we're going to mention before saying the Kaddish. And the other one, and I don't know who here knows him, but one of the presidents a long time ago was Jeff Ryder, and his wife just died 2 days ago, very, very unexpectedly. Her name was Anne-Marie, and we're going to say Kaddish for her too, even though she's a Protestant, but no one's perfect. So we're going to mention her too. Are there any other people you want to mention in this space? People maybe you just think about because they passed away recently, or people that passed away during this time of the year, or maybe people who loved Hanukkah, and you can't light the menorah without thinking of them.
Good friend Gordon Ellis.
And if it is your custom, please rise for the Kaddish. Page 598. Page 598. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחי יכון וביום יכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה ברכו. לאלה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma ve'imru. Amen. Yehesh lamaraba min shmaya, ve'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru. Amen. Ose shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו Amen. Please be seated. It is the nature of community that everything is always happening at the same time and sometimes even in a person's life. So the same generation that is marking these two losses among their closest circle of friends also spend today in person 3 hours together with Ashley Mansfield in Didi Rasmus's kitchen making 120 latkes. So they didn't make it here. They live very far away and it is cold and icy, but they send their warmest regards and they're just happy to know that we're here eating their latkes tonight and many, many other latkes too. And one of the people who was there also today was Jane Leopold. So as we're holding her especially close to our hearts, we should eat these latkes with a lot of delight. We are on page 657 for Beth Shalom's anthem, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, shalom.
Salam
Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, shalom. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam.
Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam
Shalom. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Shalom, shalom, and salam. If you're sitting next to someone you've known for a long time, this is your moment to smile at them. And if you're sitting next to someone you don't know yet, this is your moment to smile at them. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our circle, Beth. We're so happy you're here. I want to bless you all. I've sent a lot of emails lately. I send about, 70 emails a day, sometimes I think. So I'm constantly coming up with new ways of saying goodbye to people. And for this Hanukkah, I created the greeting, lots of love and laughter and light. So all of this to you too. Lots of love and laughter and light. Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha vichuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom. May God bless you and comfort you.
May God's light shine upon you. May his face be over you. May you walk your ways immersed in light. May you walk your ways immersed in shalom. And me and my slightly awkward head that keeps on falling off the entire time. I want to bring in one more talent here. Carly used to buy challah every time we come here together, except for this week, where the entire Bozeman Jewish community seems to have bought all the challah by 9 a.m. So Carly here, for the first time in her life, baked a challah, and it turned out amazing, which is a little depressing for others, but good for Carly. Look at this. Right. So, I know. So I said everybody could bring in their mulled wine, but no one did. You did. Good. So I'm going to do a quick kiddush in the middle. We didn't bring kiddush cups, but we're going to then straight into this room, and you can have more mulled wine and more, how is it called, Kisid? Slushies? Slushies. So today we do kiddush on slushies. And I do want to say also, in Didi Rasmus's kitchen today, we were 4, and we made 120. Sid yesterday was all by herself, and she made 150. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you're all really, really hungry. I never know how many people will be coming, so we have a lot of latkes tonight. יום השישי ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצבנו. ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי באנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת עם כל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. L'chaim to all of you. And yes. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. I hope you never become gluten intolerant, Brian. And before we're going to eat this challah, I also want to say thank you to Carney every time he comes back, I learn one more letter of his name. So, but I'm slowly getting there. It is always a delight. Thank you, Josh, for your first out of many. Thank you to Sid for not only the latke making, but for like all the food and all the slushies, and for a lot of the Jewish trivia we're going to engage in, right, in a couple of moments. Thank you for doing everything you do with so much grace and so much fun. And yes, and welcome back, Cody. We're excited to have you. I am. And congratulations to Marnie, who finished her studies this very week, which is amazing. And as you hear me talking, I have only two temple businesses to say. One of them is that the last time we talked about this, I was very open to change the time of the services. And now I've come to realize that we will never have a perfect time. So we're just going to leave it at 6:30. I actually think it makes the most sense. And if you, and I'm going to repeat it one more time, if you ever want to come late or leave early, that is totally fine by me. You can march in here and leave and do whatever you want, whenever you want to do it. And also, if you want to eat, because this is your dinner time, your services are taking place in the summer when we do picnics outside, and you can eat and pray at the same time. So it's all a compromise, but it is one that works halfway, I think. And the other thing is that this is the last service we are praying in the synagogue as it looks now today. On Tuesday, we're shutting it down for 3 weeks until January 16, which means that nothing is taking place here until January 16. Torah study is on Zoom, and Shalom Kids is going to be on break, and all other teachings are going to be on Zoom for those couple of weeks, because we are painting everything, the entire interior of the synagogue. We're getting new fans, and thanks to Carly, we're also getting new chairs, because she found... Okay, I have full trust in you. You found a local vendor. It's going to happen. They're going to be wood and comfortable and beautiful. And all this is happening thanks to a donor. I actually haven't figured out yet if she wants to be named or not. So for the time being, I'll just leave her there anonymously. But when we will come back here at the second half of January, it will look a little different, which is exciting, and maybe our own little Hanukkah miracle towards our own little temple in a certain way. Also, we're going to get the lamps cleaned, which another Hanukkah little shiny. Not that we have anything against them, but I'm excited about that too. Did I forget anything? Oh, Tuesday. We are here tomorrow with Rabbi Ed for Torah study one last time. And then we are on break. So I think... Where are we having the service on like that? Yes, we are going to do this online, and we're going to figure this out somehow. As it is, sometimes money comes, and then things happen, and they're not always perfectly planned out yet, but they will be. Okay, we are on page 671 for a last final song, and then we can be off to more latkes. And here's one last thing I forgot to mention. We got these perfectly sized, amazing sufganiyot/donuts from Helena. Thank you, Randy. I ate like 50 last year, so taught me on that. What did I say? 671. And one last thing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tehavon. There we go. Oh, sorry.
Light one candle for the Maccabee children. Give thanks that their light didn't die. Light one candle for the pain they endured when their right to exist was denied. Light one candle for the terrible sacrifice justice and freedom demand. Light one candle for wisdom to know when the peacemaker's time is at hand. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Light one candle for the strength that we need to never become our own foe. Light one candle for those who are suffering the pain we learned so long ago. Light one candle for all we believe in. Let anger not tear us apart. Light one candle to bind us together with peace in the song in our heart. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. What is the memory that's valued so highly that we keep alive in that flame? What's the commitment to those who have died when we cry out they not died in vain? We have come this far, always believing that justice will somehow prevail. This is the burden, this is the promise, and this is why we will not fail. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out. It lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out. Don't let the light go out. Don't let the light go out.
Woo! Happy Hanukkah! Thank you.